Hello there. Today we'll be doing, let's say, house robbers, 94th problem. This is a dynamic programming problem. So in this particular problem, we are looking at a way to find how we can rob the most amount of money from these particular houses, but we can't rob adjacent houses. So how this is going to work is that we're going to build up our answer so let's say we can add this current one, but we can only add anything before that, or we can select the previous house and see which one's larger. And with that, we can move our pointers to this particular location where we can either point at the bigger item or the smaller item. Here, let me show you what I mean. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 1. So we can either select 1 or nothing. So select 1 or nothing, then of course 1 is bigger. At this point, we can select 2 or a 1. So that means we can select 2. This is the max. So at this point, when we look at 3, we can only add items before. So this is rob 1. So this is going to be our first pointer. And this is going to be rob 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 to 1, and that's going to get 4. At 4, we can move on to the next item, and we can see that there are only 2 items here, and we can only add anything but the 2. So we can get a total of 3 here. But of course, we don't do that because we check the max between this 3 and this 4, and we get a 4, and that's our last item as we move along the robs. That's our solution to this particular problem. That's our first learning, is that we can build up our answer with these pointers. So we're going to have rob 1 and rob 2 equals 0 and 0. And we're going to start that. So for n in nums, so each numbers, we're going to do a temp is going to be equal to the max of the number plus rob 1, currently it is 0, or rob 2. And then rob 1 is going to equal to rob 2 because we've shifted forward, and rob 2 is going to be equal to temp. That's the one that's our current spot. And then we return rob 2 because that's at the end of our list. And that's how we do this particular problem. Let's run it and submit. Right, so that looks like a pretty good solution. So what did we learn here? What we're learning here is dynamic programming. And in dynamic programming, we are saving up the answers before to build up our future answer. And that's exactly what we're doing here when we look at a robbing of a house, where we're choosing to choose the previous item or a bigger item, but by adding the current number. And that is a very straightforward logic. Hopefully we'll learn more about these types of problems when we do the next problem, and I hope you will join me for that. And there's so much more to learn. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something today. And if you want more, check the link in the description below. Thank you very much and have a good one.